a cousin of mine that the program helped immensely. Came to the same thing. Everyone I know that went through it with a contrite and full heart for it have been much happier. Their lives work better because you've got better principles to use. These are proven. It's not anything that you have to guess about, but you can. The proof is in the pudding. Try it and see. If you honestly try and apply these things to your life, no matter where they come from, I think all paths have these positive aspects of them, because wise people all through history have looked at human problems and they've come up with similar solutions. This is how we do this. This is the best way we can use our minds to reduce our suffering, to make ourselves and everyone around us happier and better off. So I'm going to check out that guy, though. I'm sure that there's something on YouTube. I'm sure some people have
Oh,
found it.
most definitely. Most
guy
definitely. Now, with me, my whole goal in all of what you were talking about is three things, and it's been this way ever since not since I figured out what the heck I was doing, because that takes about 3 years of sobering up.
Right.
So, I mean, just so if anybody listens, they hear that, just understand for the first 3 years of your recovery, it's going to be rough. Okay. But after those 3 years, I started figuring out that there's only three things that I really, really wanted to work towards as goals. And that's, first of all, peace of mind. I wanted integrity. And then out of all of it, my life ended up showing authenticity. Everything was authentic. It wasn't me pretending. It wasn't people around me pretending. It was an authentic life. You know what I mean? So, and I that was actually given to me. You know what I mean? And that was because of the whole thing of be true to thyself. I mean, you know what I mean? Don't just be honest with yourself about who you are and what you value in life, and it'll work out.
I think all those things support each other.
Mm-hmm. They really do.
But it is that a very difficult thing to be honest with ourselves. It's so tough to do, and it's a long process. It doesn't happen quickly, and I think it's a constant process of staying honest with ourselves too. We can't let the guard down and slide back. I always said that you have to keep going, because if you stop, you think you're stopping, you're not. You're sliding back down.
Yeah.
You have to be in constant motion. And fortunately, though, after a certain point, you get momentum. So you just and you were talking about 3 years, and you've got the momentum up that you can start doing some serious work on your mind.
Not really. That was just the start. 8 years. 8 years, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, my goodness, man, what the heck? When am I going to start learning stuff? And then, like, at 10 years, I'm like, hold on, dude. I did learn stuff. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a little distance from stuff. Like, oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm like, wow. And when you're in the moment, that's the thing. It doesn't dawn on you. It just happens. You know what I mean? Like, you're not methodically pacing yourself, trying to make things happen the way you want it to. It just kind of happens, and you're not even realizing it until you look back and you reflect on it and you start seeing, hey, man, I'm changing.
Metaphor I use with that with Bob. We talk a lot about the path. This is an old Eastern metaphor used in Buddhism, and you've got a path that you're following, and the path is, we're all on a path, and there are many paths, and some go to really nice places. Some might go to a nice lake with, nice trees, cool breeze. Other paths might go to a burning pit, where garbage is being burned and there's coals and this and that. Some paths lead off of cliffs. You want the path that's going to take you to the top, to release. And the path, sometimes you're walking on hard stone, sometimes you're splashing through mud, sometimes you're climbing up rocks. And you're, as you say, you're in the moment, you're just looking at this path and you're saying, and then eventually though, you'll stop and then you look back at how far you've gone. And that can actually even be a little scary. See, geez, bloody hell, I'm halfway up this mountain. You don't, it's, and while you're struggling, it's like, oh, this is so tough. But then you look back now and, oh yeah, there's that mud pit I was stuck in for years. There's that other place. But you're right. Sometimes you need a little distance from things, and you have to take a breath and tell yourself, "Hey, you know what? Look at where I am now compared to where I was. I am making progress. It's not instantaneous. It's not when you want it, like you said. It happens when it happens, but it does happen as long as we keep applying ourselves." And as someone said to me, well, how long do I have to do this? It's like all the time. This is it. There isn't really anything. There's nothing else really to do with ourselves. And part of it, though, is like you were saying about getting into the habit of prayer. You have to get into the habit of these things. I have to get into the habit of meditating every day, breathing every day. I was thinking too, it's a good thing you weren't doing Buddhist prayers, because then you'd have to hit your knees and then you do a full genuflection and hit your forehead on the ground. So you got off lightly there, pal.
I've seen the videos. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. They do the full genuflection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I've seen it. It's wonderful. I think I told you the story. I was staying out at a Buddhist monastery, and it was during a festival, Katina. It's a festival that has to do with originally it had to do with monks creating their robes, but it's now like a festival where lay people come and they present gifts of robes to the monks, and it's a big party and families all show up and everything. And I was in a room, and there was the abbot of the monastery. He's a very, very wonderful gentleman, very nice guy. When I first arrived at the monastery, he handed me food with his own hands, which was a wonderful, wonderful welcome from him. But he's talking to this woman who's, she's this nice middle-aged woman, very respectable, and they're just chatting and talking. Maybe they were talking about a village they both used to live in. They were very friendly and they were very relaxed. And then suddenly it was time for her to give him this robe, and instantly their faces changed. They both looked very serious. She handed him the robe. She stepped back, did the full genuflection down to the ground, and got back up, and they said a few, and then suddenly they were back to laughing and smiling and everything. Just the way that the Buddhist clergy is just such a seamless part of the culture. It's like, this guy's my friend, but then suddenly, okay, now it's his function as a bhikkhu, as a monk. And they're very serious. They do all the things, but then right back to like happy laughing. It was really kind of a wonderful thing to see.
I never was able to go to a Buddhist monk monastery. I had an opportunity to go. What is that group called? The Hare Krishnas. That's Hindu, isn't it?
Oh, the Hare Krishnas, yeah, they're that's the International Society for Krishna Consciousness.
Yeah.
They're one of the few Hindu groups that actually proselytize. Most Hindus aren't that interested in getting converts, but those guys are out there. I don't know too much about them, but I'm sure they could be interesting. From what I know of their path, and I don't know much, so please correct me in the comments. I think their path is one of the heart, karuna. They just love Krishna. It's just like you devote yourself to the God and just do nothing but like this. It's sort of like, there are Christian mystics that do the same approach sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But if you get a chance to visit a Buddhist monastery, or hell, even a Hare Krishna group, I'm always interested in like other cultures, other religions, and things like that. I was at the monastery visiting my friend who was a monk out there, and I went out and stayed at the monastery twice for a couple of weeks each time. And I didn't stay exclusively at the monastery. We actually did some traveling around, and we went camping one time. We actually went up to Mount Shasta to look for the hidden city.
I love that story.
The hidden city in Mount Shasta. Yeah, we were looking for space aliens.
You wanted to be serious, so don't get me started.
Well, maybe we could have him and me on one of the shows that you're associated with that have more like supernatural topics and things like that.
Yeah, because I really do like talking about Mount Shasta. Just that.
Well, we were there. We were there. We also went camping up near Lake Tahoe one year. That was pretty fun.
Oh
That
wow.
was pretty fun. Yeah, yeah. We had to find some place where they didn't have a fire ban because we were doing outdoor camping without tents. So it was just like when we were leaving the monastery, and the abbot said, "Where you guys going?" And Panabasa said, it was Panabasa Bhikkhu then. He said, "We're going on a Dukkha Acharya retreat," and he just laughed. Dukkha Acharya is learning through suffering. So we're going to go and camp without any tent or anything. It's out in the cold, and our only warmth was building fires. So, but it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun, and yeah, it was cool.
It's pretty nice. Now, if you ever get a chance to go to the Oregon caves, man, I suggest that. I've heard and seen a lot of footage on that, and that is actually pretty cool. And it's not too far from where Mount Shasta and all that is either. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
I don't know if I'm ever going to get out to California again, but if I do, I'll check it out.
it's
We've got some caving systems around here, and oh, what's that really big cave system? They took me there as a kid. Um, Majestic Caves? No, I can't think of the name of it now. House Caverns? It was a big one. They filmed movies and stuff in there. I think that's where they filmed Zontar, Thing from Venus. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
Xantar. I used to watch the cartoon. I made fun of it kind of because he seemed to look a lot like He-Man.
Oh, this was an old black and was it black and
Yeah.
white? It's an old movie, and it was about this scientist that was in touch with Venus, the planet Venus,
Mhm.
and he was in communication with this guy named Zontar from Venus, right? And he was like, "Zontar's my friend. He's my only pal. I'm going to take over the world, and I'll be running everything." It was just like Zontar will fix everything. Yep, there's a signal from Shambhala International Airport. They announced they're going to be opening the secret doors soon. So I think we're going to be wrapping up this episode here pretty shortly.
Let me grab my
Before we do,
seatbelt.
well, you better. Yeah, I'm going to light the seatbelt light, and please return your seats to an upright position. The smoking lamp is now turned off. Stewards will be by to collect your rolling papers, hash pipes, or any other paraphernalia. Before we turn off the automatic pilot, Roger, would you like to share your socials with everyone so they can contact you if they feel they should?
Yeah, you can find me at Roger Hanson or Roger Hanson at ROGLOL1973 on X. You can also find me at Roger_Hanson on Minds.com. I also have a Discord channel called The Wonderful World of Weirdness where you can contact me. And you can also find me at Roger's Hangout on Teams as well as Live with Roger Hanson or Roger's Hangout now on Elements Matrix. That's it.
Excellent. Well, I am to be found at Roger's Hangout, and actually, if you contact Roger, you can probably contact me. Otherwise, check out my website, navakavada.org. That's Navakavada. It's spelled just like it sounds. I'm also on minds.com as Otto X, and it's Otto_X. And we've got a Navakavada YouTube channel and a BitChute channel. The BitChute channel are older videos, but I think there's some really good ones there, including some nice interviews. And that's about it for me. So I'm going to switch off the automatic pilot and begin our descent toward Shambhala International Airport. Those of you that are continuing on to Agartha, please remain in your seats. Everybody else can deboard then. So thanks, everyone, for being here. Thank you especially, Roger, our co-pilot and electronics warfare officer. And hopefully we will see you all next week. Thank you for flying Clandestine International Airline.